This guy's name is Bearded Homeless Man.
Well, yeah. What do you think? What do you expect?
Bearded guy on friend on streets. Just the name Bearded Homeless Man. Just the only place I'd ever like expect to see anything like that is like in the movie credits. It's like
yeah,
it's
fair.
like security guard
Yakuza.
1. Oh shit! What the fuck?
All right, what do I need to do?
Uh,
I got Makoto up here now. But now I can't reach Tachibana. I'll go try Little Asia.
oh, is that the branch?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Chinese. I feel like now I can't say anything like just say, oh, it's the Chinese place.
It's
Or
not
a Mexican place without me feeling like, oh, am I being a jackass here?
No, you're not. It's not racist until you make it racist.
Oh no, Shinji.
Oh, poor Shitji.
My guy, this is not the Shinji you're thinking of.
That Shinji is only on my mind because my sister
yeah,
watched through all of Evangelion.
Wait, she watched all of it?
Yeah, Neon Genesis and the end.
How much stuff is there?
Like,
Say, put into hours.
Oh, it's only 26 episodes and a 2 or 3 hour movie. So yeah,
that would be...
it's not that much, I don't think.
No, it's too much. So let's just give some breathing room. That's about 13 hours, so around 15 hours?
In total, yeah. You could feasibly watch it through in a day, but I think it's better taking like over a period of time to like process everything that you go through. Now that my sister's seen Evangelion, I think it's time you make your pilgrimage as well.
I will at some point.
At some point, you gotta just fuck everything. Just stow away all your other plans. Just plan like, or heck, maybe
you say that. You say that when really I also have so many other games to play, and I still haven't gone to Witcher 2.
I mean,
yet.
what other games do you have in mind to play? Because like,
I mean, there's Resident Evil 4 remake coming out this year, which finally and hopefully it will be good.
At this point, are you hoping that it's good or just like not terrible?
I'm hoping that it's really good. I'm just probably a tiny bit worried.
Yeah.
Because Resident Evil 3. Oh damn. Because Resident Evil 3, as you know, I find that game to be it's alright. It's basically Resident Evil 2.5. It's just more of it. It's just disappointing of what it is.
Oh, okay.
There's just so much taken out of it from the original.
Kind of like me with Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. But the thing is, Resident Evil 3 was done by a different team. Resident Evil 4 Remake is being done by the same team that made Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully it's pretty good, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, okay. Any other games you're thinking about? Because the only thing on my mind...
Skyrim.
Okay.
But that's just an addiction at this point.
Okay, the only other game...
Hey, I'm almost about to break 1,000 hours on that game.
The only game I'm looking forward to right now would be Effie Engage.
I'm very hesitant with... Okay, I'm still going to buy it, but I'm very hesitant on it because it just looks like... It's like, alright... Like, the team, for me, it seems like, alright, let's make Fire Emblem. But, you know, Genshin Impact is doing really fucking well. Let's just make it look like it's a Genshin Impact game. That's my kind of issue.
Except they actually include people of color. Oh!
It's just, it looks like Genshin Impact. It looks not generic, but it's just some of the designs where it's like, alright, now this is kind of getting too anime. Because like with Fire Emblem, yeah, its style is anime, right? But the thing is, it kind of had its own
That
like
suit looks-
anime feel to it.
That blue suit looks like pajamas.
Like it had its own sort of anime style to it. But Engage just looks like your generic anime game.
You know what's funny about?
Am I wrong on this?
Yes and no, because like, I think it looks. How do I say, like, too clean and crisp sometimes.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a lot of the early images I see are pretty enticing to me.
With Fire Emblem Heroes doing pretty well, they are using that kind of art style.
Yeah.
That sort of style for the game's look.
Based on like the couple few analysis that I've seen.
Not to mention they're bringing back a lot of older
it seems
heroes.
It seems like Engage is basically going to be Heroes, but without the gacha hell.
Let's hope. I mean, they're already kind of doing a scummy thing where it's like, oh yeah, we're already going to show you the season pass, which does not give me confidence.
I wouldn't say that's like bad. It's more like DLC, just early. It's not like, oh, we're only like 60% done with the game, and like wave 1 is just trying to fix stuff that was supposed to be in like from the start. To me, it's like this would also in like Xenoblade 3's DLC is like this is stuff that extra stuff that you were going to use anyway, but we're like already done with it, so you might as well just have it now. That's just kind of the feel that I get for it. It's like DLC done in a good way, I feel.
Yeah. The other thing is like with Fire Emblem Engage, I like the idea of like them showing like all the some of the main lords from the older games, because that's just really cool because it allows us to finally see like Sigurd and Leaf from Genealogy of the Holy War and Thracia. More people are going to see those characters.
A lot of
and we've never actually gotten Genealogy and Thracia. A
lot of pre-awakening people that have kind of been sort of neglected in the mainline games for a while.
But it's just cool seeing them. But for me, it's like we already have heroes. We don't need to have a mechanic where it's like, oh, let's focus on like the lords from the past game. Like, I just want to see, it's like, all right, fully brand new stuff.
Although
I'll have to see.
I did see something funny where apparently, according to like a demo copy someone played, this is called Fire Emblem Engage. It has the whole engagement ring thing, but there's no romantic supports in this game.
Really?
Apparently, I just thought that was kind of funny.
I mean, for me, that's fine. It's like that's not gonna make or break anything.
Just, you know, the one game that's called Engage and has like rings and whatnot as like the main mechanic. Actually, did you notice that in the games, like, or at least for like modern Fire Emblem games, like the ones where you do get kids have only been on like the 3DS so far?
I mean, well, that whole thing started with Awakening and they just continued it into Fates because it did so well.
Yeah.
But with Fates, they kind of botched it, and it's like, alright, it's like, you're just kind of like making it, like, the reason for why it's like, oh, they're already grown up, and you can now use them. It's like, alright, now you're kind of stretched.
Okay, yeah, it is a bit of a stretch, but I still appreciate it. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's like, people were kind of getting, it's like, a lot of people are like, alright, we're kind of sick of that, and all that. And like Fates didn't do as well. Well, it still did pretty well, but people didn't like it as much.
The thing I appreciate Three Hopes doing is the opposite, where instead of getting to meet like all the main cast kids, you get to meet their parents, or for some of them at least. That was kind of like a neat idea. Although, like,
I mean, they did that in the DLC for Fates, kind of.
Wait. You could...
There's Fates DLC, which if you haven't bought it yet, and I'm just saying this for anybody, we're recording this on January 5th. You only got a little bit more till March comes around. and the Nintendo eShop will fully close for the 3DS and Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's probably gonna hear this, but I might as well just say it. But yeah, like in the Fates DLC, there are a couple chapters you can pay for where you mainly use the children of Fate and not their parents.
Oh, that DLC story. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about like the parents
No.
of the main cast. My bad. Okay.
I still need to play
Actually,
Three Hopes.
That's
I haven't
that's
gotten
one-
to
that's
that
actually
yet.
that's kind of one thing that annoys me about Fates is that the kid characters can't use like their parents' signature weapons. Some of them, that was a little like,
I mean, it's like it's a small thing where it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. I would say.
Nani?
I mean, would you really want to use Kiragi or Takumi?
Or wait a minute, no, he could. I mean, just as an option, as like a, in case Takumi ever fell in battle, like, okay, here's like pocket Takumi.
I mean, wouldn't
As
that
a
just
backup.
fail? I mean, wouldn't that just give you a game over immediately if Takumi fell?
No,
Yeah.
no. 'Cause-
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, you can continue the rest of the game so long as Korn stays alive. They're the only person that matters.
Okay, I guess that doesn't. Okay, so that saves up on like, all right, we're not. It's like we're gonna make this like less challenging or something like that. But it's like I don't know. It feels weird with like all the siblings just dying. And it's like, oh, let's continue on.
I mean, they still show up in the cutscenes and everything, so
What?
yeah. Even if they fall in battle, they still show up in cutscenes. and
So
all
there's
that.
just like, oh yeah, I fell in battle. I'm not helping you anymore.
Yeah. In my head, I like to imagine them all have like full body cats. They're just completely just broken all their arms and legs, and they can't move.
I think the one thing that's like stopping me from not stopping me, but one thing that's kind of like kept me from really wanting to play Three Hopes is just the Warriors like gameplay. I tried playing the first Fire Emblem Warriors game, and before I played it, I was like, oh man, the Warriors like game, it's like, alright, it's just pure adrenaline. You just attack so many enemies, it just feels cool.
Mhm.
When I first actually played, like actually tried that gameplay out, I was like, it's alright.
I think
So for me, it's just like I'm interested in the Folan cast. Not to mention Mercedes got a much better hair design in that one.
yeah.
But like it's just that gameplay where it's like it did not really keep me.
I think
西公園のホームレスにかくまってもらって
it depends on like which characters you play, because some of them are like really fun to play as, and others like,
兄貴が
oh,
迎えに
okay,
来る
this
のを待って
this isn't that great.
Breath of the Wild 2, I was so
Nice.
calling it that. It's finally coming out this year,
Yeah.
片付いてから
so that's also something to look forward
打ち明ける
to.
つもりでした
Oh yeah, and Scarlet and Violet might have DLC.
Oh, it better have DLC.
そう
It better have DLC after how much I enjoyed playing it.
There's rumors that there's going to be an announcement sometime soon,
はい
as of the date of this recording. So we'll see how that ages.
誠を殺そうとした
What are you hoping for the DLC? Because I'm honestly hoping,
どういう
like that section of land that's basically grayed out and it's just like
Yeah,
high
the
mountains.
entire
I'm hoping
northeast.
they change that so it's like, oh yeah, here's Kalos now.
Or like the southern tip of Kalos that
Yeah.
people have been wanting for.
それで大
That's
阪
like-
を出たきり
I could
小
see
田
that
とは
being
連
a
絡が取れていない
maybe as like a wave 2 DLC,
おそらく
but I think like
大田さん
what
は
they would do what they did in Sword and Shield is like wave 1 is like, oh, here's a couple new characters, a side quest, maybe some new Pokemon and legendaries, but there's not going to be anything like
私のせいです
Maybe
A giant
update,
map.
Maybe update Gita's
10年前
team to be better
私は
I'd say-
and be more interesting.
ただ
I'd say it's like not terrible, just kind of underwhelming for me.
I mean, yeah, her team is just kind of underwhelming. Like honestly, Diantha was probably the more like the weakest from what people would say. She was the weakest
No.
champion.
Okay,
I mean,
she's
like
not.
lore-wise.
Lore-wise,
no, I'm not saying
Okay,
that.
she's not.
But gameplay-wise, she was probably the easiest one.
No, gameplay, it's gotta be.
But now
What's his
Gita's
fucking
kind of
face?
taking that place.
No, it'd be Trace.
We don't talk about Trace.
Well, he still technically counts because.
Well, he sucks either way. Anyway. But yeah, Gita's kind of, I feel like, has taken that place. Not counting Trace.
I think
I don't give a shit about him.
I didn't really. I kind of appreciate Gita's team a bit more because of a YouTube comment I read where like her entire team, the theme for that is like, oh, like each Pokemon represents a different biome in Paldea. And after reading that, I was like, oh yeah, I see it now. That's actually a nice detail.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like they still could have just done so much more.
I feel like they had the right idea, just like the placements not great.
I mean,
I think,
better
yeah.
Pokemon still could have been chosen.
I think stuff like having Glumora at the start and then King Gambit at the end.
Yeah.
Something like that would even be.
I mean, some people have even made some. Some people have made some interesting fan theories.
There's a lot
where
of
it's like
fan
it's a form of
theories.
copium, where it's like, oh yeah, am I saying Kogita?
Copita. Copium,
Gita,
Kogita.
either way. Some people are thinking, oh, maybe she's an AI, or she's a fraud champion, or something like that.
That's, I think, is a bit of a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch. I mean, they've already played with the idea with the professors being the AI, which I'm still kind of sad that they actually just killed the professor. Because no Ungabungam, K-Woman Mommy, for me.
I thought
But
Scarlet and Violet were.
It's very bold for Pokemon to do that.
Yeah, I thought they were like treading whole new territory, like going with the version exclusive professors thing, and now they're going even further. Like, oh, by the way, yeah, they were dead this whole time.
Oh yeah, dead, completely dead. Which, okay, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be pissed off. But I did spoil myself on that bit.
How?
Oh,
Did you like seek it out, or did it like
I did not
happen
seek it out.
Okay, or did it happen to you?
It just, I was just looking on the Wikipedia.
On the
Bulbapedia.
Bulbapedia.
I think I was like checking. I think I was checking like the gym leaders,
Yeah.
and then like there's like a section on there that shows, like trainer titles, and one of them that they show on there is AI.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder what that is. I click it and I see, oh, the professors are actually AIs and the original ones died. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh. So why were you?
So it wasn't intentional.
Why were you checking Bulbapedia for?
I don't know, I was like curious. I think I was like checking something for like story-wise, I think.
I did see a joke fan art someone made where an alternate universe where like instead of Turo and Sada being like neglectful parents, this was a joke universe where they're both like super doting and just like being way too loving of Arfin.
Yeah, helicopter parents.
Yeah. I'll try to put it up here if I can find it again.
Another thing actually that was kind of interesting was like the original professors on what they were wanting to actually do, like going through with like, oh, I want to bring these older or like Pokemon from the past or future into this timeline, and the AI's like, no, we shouldn't do that. That's just going to destroy everything. Which I do find kind of interesting, where it's like, alright, they're kind of letting this get into their head a little too much, to the point where it's like, yeah, it's going to destroy everything. So that's another interesting thing.
It's also kind of like the opposite of like a lot of other sci-fi stories, where instead of an AI uprising, the AI is like, what the fuck was humanity
What the
thinking?
fuck was I thinking? Oh yeah, another thing that since the last time we recorded,
Yeah.
another thing came up.
風間死んだ
Yeah, Ash is no longer going to be in the anime. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, he's retiring. I'd
I
say
don't
he's earned
like it.
Why?
風間さんは
It's because Ash no longer being in the anime. Think about it. Did you ever think that was going to happen? Him retire.
Yeah, because
I'm calling bullshit on
oh,
that.
I didn't know it would happen, but I kind of wanted it to.
Okay, you want it to happen, but did you think it would ever happen?
Yeah, eventually. I just didn't think, it'd be this generation.
家族を捨てた私を
Either way, I hate it because it was one of those things. It's not gonna. They're never gonna give up Ash
セルさんか
the
ら
moment that they do.
目が見えないと
I'm
知ら
just
され
like,
た
I
時
don't want this. I hate this.
When's the last time you gave a shit about the
いい
anime?
と思いました
Sun and Moon.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Did you ever watch a single episode of Journeys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I've talked to you about that.
あなたが
Which
私に
ones
聞かせてくれ
did you talk about?
I think
牧村
it's
誠という女性は
seasons 1, 2, and 3.
やはり
But I caught up to the dub, so at that point I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait a while until they add more episodes because I like the dub.
彼女が蒼天堀にいた理由
Never checked it out, so
私を
I don't have anything to say about the dub.
探すためだった
Yeah, no, it's just like one of those things where it's like you never, you would think you never thought would actually happen,
探してく
but
れ
they
て
actually
たん
go
です
through with it.
I mean, I
And
thought...
if you don't, and also what doesn't help is that someone made an animation where it's like James, Jesse, and Meowth are like saying goodbye to Ash, and then James starts to get emotional and hugs Ash. It's like, I'm gonna miss you, man.
そのため
Same
だ
goes,
けに
and then Meowth, and then Jesse joining in on the hug, and it's like,
もう二度と
fuck, this is tugging at my
逃げたくありませ
heartstrings.
ん
The thing that kind of like irks me most is like people coming up with fan theories for the new protagonist already. Like, I bet you like most of you don't even remember her fucking name. It's like slow down a little. Just wait till like I don't know, the first
did they reveal
season.
her name?
Yeah, it was
どうしまくみだ奴ら
okay. I can't remember right now, but they did
こ
reveal
こ
it.
にいるのがバレたんだ
Now the other question is this:
こんな
Do you think now, since Ash is gone,
はい
Yeah.
do you think with each generation, do you think they'll have a new main
立花
character,
だ
That's a possibility. I mean,
or do you think this will be a new generation for the next 20 years?
立花なのか
And also, do you think Ash will show up as grown up a bit
いい加減
as a cameo? Because I would honestly like to see that.
yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's
what I
like,
was.
yeah, he kind of grew up with the.
That's what I
fans
was.
in
I was thinking both. Like, oh, they might switch out the protagonist every generation or so, and then like they'll do a Power Rangers thing where like every like 5th anniversary of the anime, Ash comes back slightly older or something.
Yeah.
That's something I would like to see. Although people have like come up with already a couple whack theories about the new protagonist for the anime. They're saying like the kid is Ash's daughter already.
That's a stretch. I
I
feel
mean,
like.
we're thinking a little far into the future here, but that's not impossible. It's just I don't think we should like come up with theories yet. Like that anime hasn't even started yet.
Actually, is Jesse James and Meowth returning?
We have no idea. But that leads to the other theory that I saw was that for like one of the descriptions of the new trainer is that she doesn't really want to talk about her past for some reason, and no one's sure why. So someone came up with a theory of, oh, like what if her parents are Jesse and James, and so like that's why she doesn't want to mention her past, which I think that would be an interesting twist.
It'd be an interesting twist. Plus, maybe it could reference the ending for Jesse and James in the original like Pokemon manga, and I'm not talking about the Adventures one.
Oh,
I'm
the,
talking about
The Electric Tales.
yeah,
That
where James actually professes his love to Jesse, and they just quit Team Rocket and they both have a kid, which I think is kind of cool.
yeah, I could see something like that. I think that'd be an interesting twist if that it turns out to be like the origin story for this new protagonist. Either that or Team Rocket comes back to now torment this kid for the next however
man, that
long.
Sprigatito is super strong. We're gonna steal it.
I only want that idea just because I saw fan art of someone drawing James taking care of a little Tinkatink. Because he has that sort of...
That is, and honestly, that is too perfect.
Yeah, that is just perfect. That's like the only reason I want them back as villains. And like once the Tinkatink evolves into a Tinkaton, it matches the perfect like comedic chaotic energy that Team Rocket
it's
has.
a Pokemon where it's like, yeah, this Pokemon was meant for James. Uh-oh.
Did the game just freeze?
I don't know why it does that. Or maybe it's this assassin.
Oh,
that's doing it.
It's the Riddler.
Why do you choose the Riddler out of all people?
Because he killed, what's his name? Falcone in the movie.
And I still think that's a stretch too there. Also, what a fucking entrance.
When stealth, they said stealth is optional. Imagine trying to do that shit in New York. They're like, we're all trying to sleep here, jackass.
It's like someone just rolls the window up. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up! Or you just hear Joey Diaz just show up out of nowhere. It's like, what's going on, cocksucker?
Or if this assassin, or if Goob here just slips and he starts tumbling down the alleyway like Spider-Man 2. Oh wait, I do have one conversation. So,
Polyballs.
okay, this has a bit of backstory to it. So, one time, my dad and I were giving my sister smack because like she didn't know like where any of the U.S. states were located. Or like, please tell me you know where Nebraska is.
Like one of those talk show events where it's like, so we're out here on the streets of New York and we're gonna ask random people where these countries are on the map.
Yeah, it's like that, but for U.S. states. And then we gave her smack for not knowing. Like, please tell me you know where Nebraska is. Or like,
Please tell me she got that right.
No, and not at first. It's like, is it here? It's right. It's our neighbor. It's our neighbor.
All right, what other ones did she get wrong?
But anyway, yeah, this awoke something inside her. So she started to like memorize all like the 50 states and their capitals and all their locations and all like the years they like gained statehood, and then she began to evolve from there. And, over the past couple months, she started like memorizing all the countries around the world.
Oh,
and she can do it like almost from memory now. And so she's running out of ideas. Like, I'm already like memorizing countries. Give me something new to memorize. So then,
I mean, she's gonna absolute slap in any trivia game.
So and then I challenge her like, okay, do the original 151 Pokemon. And so she's trying to cycle through, trying to like memorize, just trying to remember stuff. She's going through the Pokédex. She's like, what's that thing? Poliwag, Poliwhirl,
Polyballs?
No, it's like, because like she can remember the Pokemon, but not their names. She's just trying to struggle. She spent a minute trying to remember Poliwrath.
It's
like Polyswirl, Polywhirl. No, I already said Polywhirl. So I'm like, me listening to her trying to struggle. I'm trying to like give her clues like Poly. Feel my, and she says balls, polyballs. I'm just like, no, not the no. Poliwrath, feel my wrath. So now,
what was her reaction after that? Is she just like, oh? Or
no,
she's
just laughing for a minute, like, oh, I can't believe I'm dumb sometimes.
How good do you think you would be at trying to like say like try to name every single Pokemon that you can think of. Or at least, okay, let's start with the first 150 Pokemon. How good do you think you'd be able to fill that list?
I could probably do most of it, except for the few cases where like, oh, I forget Hypno exists and Drowsy or whatnot, or like another run I might forget like Kangaskhan
Yeah.
briefly.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon where it's like,
There's a lot of
I
just
feel
like
like I could do decently, but there's definitely a good number of Pokemon where it's like, oh yeah, that's right, this shit at it.
there's a lot of like one-offs that like I just forget for some reason because like they don't particularly do anything or like have any interest or like nothing exciting's ever happened with them.
I kind of want to take one of those Pokemon, name each Pokemon test.
Okay, we'll have to do that next then.
I'm trying to like think of all like Pokemon I can think of right now. And I'm trying to be like, okay, which ones did I forget? And I'm like, alright, Ian, that's kind of a dumb question to ask because you're not going to remember the ones that you forgot.
I know it's been like 2 months since we last did this, and I was gonna say, oh, we forgot how to do like endings, but we never knew how to do endings before anyway. Let's be real here.
Let's be real here.
Why do you all have 2 brass knuckles?
I don't know. Why don't you?
Because I'm not Count Burgley's, Caspar's dad.
I mean, sometimes you just need a little bit more power.
I wish he was playable in 3 Hopes.
Is Holes playable?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That game was redeemed.
Oh, gosh, that's bright.